Pardon the sun, but I wanted to say something. I was coming up here a while ago, and there was a guy coming from, like, the parking lot that way. Yeah, the parking lot, not the road, or whatever you call it. Anyway, he was going to try to pull, like, in front of me somehow. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And he just smiled. He was a young guy. Just grinned and everything. And then, like I said, he wasn't coming from the road part. He was coming from where the parking, he was just went across the parking lot. And anyway, I had to turn here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, so I'm not going to go that way. But there's to the left of me there's a turn to the right. There's a turn that goes right, and it goes right into the road. He got behind me, and I hadn't even had a chance to look. There were other cars, on both, right here, and see it goes. You can't see it that way. But anyway, he's blaring on his horn, like I need to hurry. So let me tell you, this Texan woman, she ain't having that. I crawled. I'm not kidding. No. You're not going to tell me to rush and hurry because you're late for wherever you want to go. Not happening. So I just went really slow, like, I didn't know where I was going. just being a jerk. No, he got it. I was just being like him. That's right. Honking at somebody when I did not have a chance to even see if anybody was coming, or from the other direction. They had the light. None of that. And he's blaring his horn for me to hurry. You pay for it, you dude. You're gonna pay for it. Anyway, then he pulled out in front of me, and then there was a line that was entering the highway, and he pulled out in front. He went in front of all them too. I mean, it was a really long line of people waiting. He raced up, got in front of me, raced up to where, somebody would better let him in. Tell you, I live in Narcissism-ville. That's what I call it. It's not Pleasantville. It's Narcissism-ville. Yeah. Anyway, I went in there Tuesday morning, and I realized I need to go one more place, and I want to get that over with because I wanted to do other things at home today. Yeah, some things at home today. Whatever. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness, what a day. But anyway, I'm going to go to the other place. Anyway, I need to stop doing stuff like that, because I was on this road one day, and there was a guy who ran out in front of me, and he was basically weaving in and out of traffic. He ran in front of me, and I introduced him to one of my fingers, and did the whole thing of, hold my hands up like, what the, and he decided that I was somehow wrong, and that he was going to do the same thing to me, and then try to get me to pull off over here. And all I saw was this big beefy arm hanging out the window that was totally tattooed. And I'm thinking, you're nuts. And he saw it. It didn't matter. I'm female. Hey, I'm wrong anyway, to that sort. So, yeah, it was, and it was pretty scary too. Now, I'm curious about something. Change the subject here since we're done my business for the day. But it made me think about this. How many of you, besides letting people know that, no, you're not going to run out in front of me, but how many of you, make complaints? Like, where I live is a lot of corporations. Okay, I live in a huge suburb of Dallas, north of Dallas. And, like I said, I call it Narcissism-ville. I didn't give it the reputation of narcissistic. When I first heard of this place like 30 or so years ago, that's what I heard. That's why I heard about it in the first place. And I found it's not 100%, of course. Stereotypes are never 100%. They're often wrong. But this one I found is right. Not everybody, but yeah, very narcissistic out on the road. And I know it exists everywhere. Believe me, I know. But like I've said before, just go outside of here, like 10 miles, 10 and a half, not even that far at times. It's a world of difference. It sticks out here like a sore thumb. But how many people have, where you live, it's rather narcissistic, or some, people are just bullies or whatever, and toxic people, this kind of thing. And it's a lot of corporations and the people working for them. I'm not saying this about every corporation, but the people working for them just have an attitude like you, the customer, are a problem. And they try to put you on the defensive, and the first thing people usually say to this is the customer's not always right. Well, guess what? I live where they think the customer is always wrong. Not everybody, but you see what I'm saying. And no, the customer's not always wrong. The customer doesn't need to be put on the defensive, and the customer's not there for you to take out your problems on, your attitude problems. Yeah. Quite often, my experience is when anybody ever says that, well, the customer's not always right, it's usually when they were doing that employee was doing something wrong and got caught. Okay, my experience. But anyway, how many of you, you deal with something like that? How many of you just go and call the corporation and say, hey, look, I'm not in the store for this kind of attitude problem? The corporations usually are not within the same area, even, or the same state. Okay, definitely not the same area usually. And when you do, you get a holy. I combine two words together, a whole totally, I guess. But you get this total opposite response. Of course, this is customer service. They should be not on putting you on the defensive and trying to tell you you're wrong and all that. Some of them do. Yeah, some of them you say, well, I see who trained them. Yeah. And they're apologetic and all this, okay? And then the corporation actually does something about it. Seriously. You no longer see that employee at that store or whatever, and so you can assume, that's all it is, assuming, that they got rid of them. Sometimes people have to speak up, or these people just go and bully other people. We all know it can be dangerous, so we all take a risk. We all know we have to take the consequences for our actions and inactions, whatever we do. Nobody else is on this planet to take it for you. But some people, they just don't say anything. What do they think? That somebody else is going to take care of it? Somebody else is going to be the one? I think sometimes it takes more than one even to complain, because the one, they'll say, oh, it's just somebody wanting to complain. 2, looking doubtful. 3, well, wait a minute now. Yeah, you see what I'm saying. I've also noticed that once you complain that these corporations, the people who did wrong, they can figure it out who it is. This has happened to me, because I don't take that crap. I just don't. Whether it's because I was born and raised in Texas and not in this area of Texas, but in a tougher one where we don't take that crap. Okay? We're not there to take your crap. And I actually have spoken up whenever I see somebody has really bad behavior. Yeah, I'll call the corporation. I skip no I'm not calling no manager. I'm not calling any manager. I'm not calling any district manager. I'm going straight to the corporation. Period. And if they say you gotta call the district manager, or the district manager has to call you, I have to know. I don't work for your company. I told you, you take care of it. I ain't playing that crap either. Okay, seriously. I shouldn't have to be calling you in the first place. Train your people, right? Nobody would be calling in. And it's funny, because sometimes the customer service, these corporations for their lines for complaints, you will wait on hold for a long while. Wonder why that is. Yeah, seriously. And that there's a lot of other people calling in because they're ticked off. Train your employees right, seriously. Now, training isn't 5 seconds of this is what you do, you punch, 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 and then there you go. Toys R Us did that to me one time years ago. I was working, and I think I had a job, but I wanted something to do. I don't know why it is. I was going to work there part-time. I didn't last like an hour, or an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I worked there when I was a teenager, yeah. But when they put me on the register and said, you do this, I'm like, oh, hell no, no. And plus standing on my feet for so long, it was a real tiny box they had me in, standing there. I could stand in it, that's it. And there's no place to lean, really. Yeah, I said, no. Anyway. But that wasn't training, no. So, okay. I don't know how I got on this tangent again today, besides that it just reminded me of that. And I just thought I'd add it to this. Maybe I'll separate it. I don't know. But I'm going to wrap it up no matter what. talk to you on another video.